reputation around the world. And of course, everybody realizes they're unbeaten since the World Cup in Italy. So Colombia, given that they don't perform all that well against them in the past, or haven't, know what they're up against tonight. Broad smile on the face of Batistuta there. Gabriel Batistuta, Fiorentina player, and he says he will stay with Fiorentina even though they've been relegated from Serie A. Off we go to the start of a game which promises so much. Let us hope we will not be disappointed. The Argentinians have brought Borrelli in at the back. You saw him getting his first touch of the ball there. Beautiful flick by Batistuta. They're looking very good early on, and he's brought down, I would have thought. No, the referee Mario Rezende of Brazil simply waves play on. Now struck forward there very neatly by Basualdo. Basualdo and the team plays from River Plate, didn't play in the first game, came into the second one, and I thought looked very comfortable. Defender again, pushed forward by Borrelli. There's a very brisk, business-like appearance about Argentina. But nevertheless, I said that about Uruguay the other night against Ecuador, and then he disappeared for about 50 minutes, and then came with an almost grandstand finish, and then beaten at the end by that glorious goal by Echeagua. A confetti-strewn pitch on a night that's touching festival almost, as these Ecuadorians, grateful for getting this competition, are very proud of this stadium. Looking a bit nervous, the Colombians. Touch there inside. Rodriguez looking very prominent. There he is. Pushed on to Altamirano, looking for a little 1-2. Run through by Simeone. Well, looked to me as if he's brought down. He's taking a chance. It goes! It's a goal! Oh, incredible! Simeone! And I make it, there's only 2 minutes gone. Argentina are in the lead. 1-0. Now this is incredible. He may well have got a penalty out of that. Watching it at a close-up, I don't think it was, but many a referee has given it for that, but he kept his head. That I think you put down to sheer professionalism. Many another player would have been lying doing the dying swan act for that, but he got up, kept his head, and from the most incredible angle, puts Argentina in the lead. Well, I think it was a penalty now. Well, it shows you, if you take different angles, it tells different stories. Oh, penalty kick without any doubt. Well, let's say he took it almost from the corner flag. That was very cool play by Simeone. 2 minutes gone, as I said. Oh, a little bit of nastiness creeping in right away. I'm sure the Colombians have been stung by that, and the goal scorer gets it in the jaw. Now look at that. I think we'll call him the Iceman after this. And I wonder if that European experience of his steadied him, because many a South American player would have been throwing himself about in agony. Well, this scene is so reminiscent of the Azteca Stadium in Mexico and some of the stadium, the River Plate Stadium in Argentina, both of which I've been in watching all this litter, but very pleasant litter, I must say, giving it almost the look of a village pitch down there in the middle of a canyon. Now what Colombia are very good at is close possession. Rincon tries to get a shot in. Oh, it's a glorious goal! What an equalizer! Rincon 4.5 minutes gone, and what a marvelously explosive start to this game. Now, I did say they were very good at close passing. Now, he kept his nerve, kept control, 3 defenders in front of him, and walloped. There was no lying down for the Colombia. Oh, even from that angle at the back, you can see he really didn't have much to aim for. And this, the most explosive start of any game we've yet seen in the Copa America. And Colombia now with a bit between their teeth, because I think this might stagger the Argentinians the way they've come back. Freddy Rincon, the scorer, and we hear Real Madrid are interested in this player. I wonder why. Now the break, terrible defensive. He's going in for the shot at goal, brilliantly saved, Cordoba. Diego Cordoba. Well, I've just renamed him. I think his first name is actually Oscar Cordoba. Anyway, whatever you call him in his first name, that was a marvelous save. He is a great admirer, by the way, of the Mexican goalkeeper, Campos. A very colourful character, and I think this game will have to be refereed very closely. And why is the referee not getting into the middle of this? He was standing back there like an idle spectator. He should be in the middle sorting this out, not the players themselves, or else we're going to have anarchy reigning on this pitch. Now there's been a simmering of this underneath the surface of some of these games, and I hope it doesn't erupt now. Well, 6.5 minutes gone, and we've had everything. I think a yellow card. Well, I think this is negligent refereeing. First of all, he's got to show clearly who's got the yellow card. And he stayed well out of that as the players jostled with one another. That shouldn't have been the case. Over it goes. Well, this man has been very prominent. Rodriguez getting down the right. What's he doing now? He wants him to put it back again. Well, that shows you, doesn't it? He wanted out of the way when there was trouble, and a little niggly thing like that, he's across. Oh, it's there. Can he put it in? No. Great effort there as Borelli tried to come through from the back. He was up for the corner kick. There he was, coming back again to defend. And I think Argentina relishing the fact that they're playing away from altitude now. They've been away up there in the Andes, and now they're back at sea level again, or just above it. And there's a freshness about their play which I think exactly reflects that situation. Touched in by Herrera. Now Valderrama. He has slowed down considerably, Valderrama. But on the other hand, the brain still functions in the most creative way. Watch the attacking of Valencia on this side, and Rincon, the man who scored a goal, on the other. This is Valencia. Coming forward there was Herrera from the back. Now the break. Break of the man I was talking about, Rodriguez, streaming forward and too far in front of Batistuta. Valderrama. I think the value of Valderrama is not so much the ability to get involved in the hardest of play, but it's opening it up for others. Now, I suppose they've got the right kind of combination. You've already seen the explosive power of Rincon. Well, Valencia has it as well. Remember that glorious goal, if you've been watching the tournament, that he scored earlier on against Bolivia. Superb stuff. And with these two playing up front, if they're released by Valderrama, that's what really matters for this team, and that's what he's been doing for them with some superb passing. There he is again. I can predict he will simply float through this game with the greatest of ease. Valderrama. They're playing the ball about confidently. The crowd are on their side, quite obviously, the underdogs. And Valderrama caught out. This will annoy Argentina. But I just get the impression that they are beginning to look awesome on the break. Well, they'll have to watch number 20, Rodriguez from Atlanta. Put on them to Valderrama, to Rincon, looking to the side to Valencia. Just getting underneath that. Some of the shooting from a distance hasn't been all that brilliant. Well, there's this incident again. That's fascinating, the Ecuadorians. He really should have had a penalty now that I've looked at it 6 different times from 6 different angles. The referee doesn't have that advantage, of course, but it didn't matter in the end. Rincon. He's changed wings for the moment with Valencia. Valencia, you can see number 11 there going on the outside. That should not bother Guayaquil. Plays in Paraguayan football. Really must be galling for Argentina and Uruguay in particular to have so many players so near at hand, not even going to Europe, some of them playing in Mexican football as well. At the back, Lionel Alvarez, ex-Real Valladolid, now plays for American Cali. He's been playing in the international team solidly, regularly for 5 years. You'll notice him a lot at the back, number 14. Valderrama. That's unlike him to give it away just as easily as that. Whipped away by the goal scorer, Simeone. Now Valderrama. Beautiful pass and glorious play. Valencia coming in. Can he put it away? No. Well, now, I think there are 1 or 2 people thinking that that might have been a penalty. Well, well, well. I'll tell you what, that was very near it indeed. If not so, I think I would have given a penalty kick. And I would have run straight away from the Argentinians because I don't think they would have liked it. Seemed a penalty to me. Glorious move by Colombia. I think the best move of the game so far. All coming again from the intelligent foot of Valderrama. It shows you don't need to be running about like a 400 meters man in a game like this if you've got intelligence. The best players always make it look easy. Well, as expected, right in the middle, Redondo. He's going to be very much a key man today. Redondo from Tenerife. As Valderrama again, watch him coaxing the players forward, judging his pass. Almost got away there. Glorious to watch that kind of play. They break again, and I think offside. Well, we've now played, according to my watch, 15 minutes, and we've had some of the best football of the tournament thus far. Touched forward by Gomez, and that was that glorious goal by Rincon. Argentina now know they're really in a game tonight. Redondo. He's got to put it inside. Batistuta going for it now, just ahead of him. And he has had such a frustrating tournament, doing a lot of running after the ball rather than running with it. Valderrama. Virtually always finding his man. Back to Herrera. Altamirano. That's all you had to do, but I think Cordoba will deal with that sufficiently well. Beautifully there by Rodriguez. There's a Redondo. I think there might be a free kick in that. Yes, there is indeed. And by the way, I'm told you might be having a little bit of difficulty with sound, but don't worry about that. We'll keep going. Another free kick, little niggly ones, I have to say. Picked up there by Ruggeri. And after that wonderfully fluctuating first 15 minutes, I think we're settling into cat and mouse game in midfield. I think they're now beginning to close down on each other. It was all so open and excitingly free, but now it's tightened up considerably. Oh, very good running indeed by Altamirano. He may get a free kick out of it. No, Brazilian decides it's a goal kick. Before there for Colombia, Luis Herrera, one of the older players in this team, plays for Atlético Nacional, but brought in for his experience in defense. Nicely touched on to Valencia, to Rincon. Rincon looks for a little bit of support. He had to do that because if you look to the left-hand side of him, could you see a yellow jersey? No, you couldn't. So he had to go for the line. As I said, Argentina have brought into the side Jorge Borelli, one of the home base players. It has to be said of Argentina, by the way, that when they won the championship 2 years ago, they were largely home base players they did it with. That is to their credit. Argentina at their best are always a joy to watch. Superb little ball there inside by Rodriguez, and I think offside, and I think the man who's making them tick has been number 20, Rodriguez. From Atlanta, as I said, doesn't have the same reputation at 26 years of age that Simeone has at 23, or Batistuta has, again 3 years younger than him, but he's been very influential tonight. On there by Herrera. That's Alvarez. That's the man I was talking about. You've seen him popping up on the right and the left, and the man behind really the opening goal for disturbing that defense. Not at all surprising that the pace has slackened off. They couldn't keep that going, that opening 10 minutes. They couldn't keep that going for 90 minutes, that's for sure. Now who gets it? It's Colombia's free kick. Valderrama turned beautifully in that. I think may have been fouled. Well, in that area there where the Argentinians are, the coach Basile, 50 years of age, trying to build up a team to regain the World Cup. He's going about his business very well indeed. As I said, they've been unbeaten since then. And would you believe, if they get to the final, Argentina, they will only have 5 days rest before they're all taken away to a training camp to prepare for World Cup qualifying games. Some people think the professional footballer leads the life of Larry, yachts and fast hotels and a sip of champagne. There's the other side to it. Training camps. That's Valderrama going down. As I said, Valderrama certainly enjoyed his period with Montpellier, and there's a booking coming up. Looked to me like Medina Bello's been booked. Very late tackle on Valderrama. And I'll make it 23 minutes gone. Well, they say Zapata. They got it wrong, as they occasionally do in their captions. Now there's the free kick, and well over the top. Some of them not at all in the same category as Munoz, the Ecuador player, who really shows you how to take free kicks. I think that ball has just gone out. Good interception there by Batistuta, but he's still not getting the right service. Most of the attacking is really coming from midfield. That's a pity, because in actual fact Rincon had pulled himself free of that little bunch of players. Herrera. Valderrama. Look at that. Look at the accuracy of it. Oh, he almost got away with that, Valencia. Again, stemming from Valderrama in midfield. Batistuta trying to get away with that one, doesn't. This is Valencia who's gone to the left. Good turn. He's a big upward-looking customer, but can he turn? Don't be put off by the flailing arms and the kind of loping style of his. He's eating up the ground and he's got control as well. Must be very difficult to play against. Valderrama, I think he was asking for that. Chased by Batistuta. Get into space again, back to him. Joy to watch this kind of play from a man in midfield, playing intelligently. Well, that was a very skillful build-up there by Colombia, knocking the ball about until he possibly saw a man free on the edge of the box. They're playing some of the best football of the tournament now. Valderrama seemed to be taken out of that. Away goes Basualdo. Trying to follow on to that, Medina Bello. A lot of good play in this game. I think Herrera was looking downfield, taking his eye off the ball there. So Valderrama is starting to use the width of the field now, gently. He was away across on the right. We saw him in close-up just a few seconds ago. Now he gets to the left. Quite simply and obviously he's trying to make himself elusive. They don't know where the danger is going to come from. Well, that's definitely a yellow card, and I think Gomez gets it. Card for Gomez. Rather harsh tackle. Oh yes, yes. There's a great deal of belligerence in that one. As done when Zapata. On come the physios. As I said, Argentina will only have 5 days of grace if they do get to the final before they start training for the World Cup qualifications. It has to be said of some of these South American teams that there is an inclination to think that they take much more seriously the Copa Libertadores, that's the South American Club Championship, and the World Cup qualifiers much more so than this tournament. And yet I think this tournament has generated, as these teams have got going, generated its own interest, its own motivation. I think that this is now beginning to be made clear in Argentina's performance. They've been criticised with what they've been doing previously, and now they've been pulled back to what all in this marvellous setting here, brilliant pitch. The players were on it the day before and gave it 10 out of 10 with an extra point for neatness. Here by Simeone. Simeone had a marvellously flowing start to the game and then sort of disappeared out of it. Rodriguez, I did tell you he was really functioning. Batistuta, free kick. Well, I think he's pretty fortunate to get that, because I think he was going to lose possession of the ball anyway. strong-looking square set appearance there of Redondo, number 5. Either he or Rodriguez about to take it. Looks to be like Redondo. No. Over to Rodriguez. It's the top. Oh, that's a very neat header. Batistuta was hanging in there. It was whipped away. Gomez got his foot to get that away. The Argentinians complaining about that. 15 minutes of the first half remaining. And they claimed there was a hand used. Batistuta very annoyed about this, but he should get out of it. You'll get nothing for dissent. Now, what were the... Well, yes, there was a rebound, and it may have struck hand, but I think it was purely accidental. I've been heaping praise on Rodriguez, but he's been well backed up, of course, by the likes of Redondo, whom you saw at that close-up of the free kick, although nobody has been as influential as Valderrama in midfield. Those subtle passes of his, and they're successful at the moment, Colombia, in keeping the ball away from Batistuta. There he is again, tries to go through the goalkeeper, and out he comes, Oscar Cordoba. Well, in this football-mad nation, which has been obsessed by the need for the home country, Ecuador, to get a victory, this crowd are relishing this game. This is no mere academic exercise. This has been competitive right from the start. Touched by Rodriguez, and the poor finish. Tired-looking finish indeed. Bello getting behind that tall figure there of Carlos Perea. Carlos Perea, by the way, number 15. Strong at the back, plays for Independiente Cali. Miguel Redondo, I think, handled that. Yes, indeed. Valderrama very quickly away, seeing the open player. Beautiful back healer there. Oh, that was wonderful play there by Aristizabal. Turning them one way and the other. Well, all the attention has been concentrated on Rincon for his goal and Valencia up front, but let us not forget this buzzing little player, Aristizabal, number 9, Victor Aristizabal. He's reminding us he's on the field. We've seen hardly anything of him. He is the man who laid on that marvelous goal for Valencia in their opening match for Colombia. Waldo. That's got to be a free kick. I think about 12 minutes remaining of this marvelous first half. And that buzz you hear in the background, an attempt to start the Mexican wave. Argentina have settled down again. Really shocked by that goal by Rincon. Oh, it falls free. Simeone with it. Ooh, just over the head. Altamirano had come forward. And so near to that. Another corner kick. Not a bad time to score a goal just before half-time. I make it about 10 minutes before half-time. Rodriguez has gone to the far side to take it. Up it goes, Simeone gets his head to it. Man at the back had been up as well, Borelli. And that should be right to the arms of the goalkeeper. He do that so deftly. That was superb play there by Rincon. Now Valderrama. Valencia. He charges after it. Looking inside and slightly weighted. Out comes Koikachia. And I think he was fouled. Well, the game from the start has been flowing remarkably from midfield into the penalty area, with passes which have been struck, I would say on about 2 or 3 passes before we get that exciting ending like that. If you compare that to some of the football we've been watching by some of the other teams, notably Peru, who take about 50 passes to gain 3 yards, and it's all about possession and it's circular. This is an object lesson to everybody of the best kind of South American football when they really get going. Now Valderrama, and he's brought back as a free kick, just as well for Argentina, because Valderrama looked to have a wicked gleam in his eye there. He had a little bit of freedom. There he is again. That's a reverse pass. It's a beautiful one. Cut across there by Herrera, as Valderrama yet again cuts him up with beautiful passing. Watch that. It had to be weighted to perfection, and it was. Valencia again try to draw it back. Big lad, Valencia. They say that Bayern Munich are interested in him. Simeone to Redondo. Up now to Vasquez. Oh, beautifully touched back. Simeone. A lot of excellent football now from both sides. Look at the way they touch it confidently about from Basualdo to Redondo. The way out to Medina Bello. There he is. It's a useful one, Batistuta. Might just keep it in. Knocks it back to Simeone. Simeone inside. It's Rodriguez. Touches that beautifully through. Looking to the far side. Not a bad ball. Altamirano was coming in from the far side. 7 minutes of the first half gone. Well, we've had a lot of exciting games, a lot of goals in some of the games. A marvelous ending to the game you may have seen last night between Ecuador and Uruguay, but I think this is the best footballing match in the purest sense that we've seen in the competition. Both of these sides playing positive football, the control in midfield at times from the likes of Valderrama, and Rodriguez has been outstanding. The running off the ball, the running forward, particularly by the Colombians, notably Valencia, of course, and Rincon, backed up just occasionally by Aristizabal. All of that combined to make this a perfect footballing night. Well, maybe not just quite perfect, but it's getting near to it compared to the other matches we've seen. That's where he's not able to go just as he used to. Just simply scoot past three players. Little flick of his hips. He doesn't have that in him any longer. Oh, Redondo at his best now. Clip forward. Batistuta lays it out wide. Well, really, that's the first time we've seen Redondo come forward as aggressively as that. He's played a rather languid role in midfield. It's been effective in many ways, pushing the ball around, but he can attack as well as Rodriguez has been there. Simeone looking for the 1-2. Now Valderrama, he's got a little bit of space. Valderrama coming away, lays it off. Wood almost came on there to Valencia. Very good play by Altamirano getting back. He read the danger very well in that pass inside him. On to Valencia. Tricky character. Aristotle couldn't get clear of that. Now the break. Simeone puts it way forward. All he was doing was getting it out of the penalty area. Here's Alvarez. Valderrama. Rincon. Oh. Charge from the back. Referee waves play on. Valencia, nice little ball, and I think offside, but I wonder about that. That Aristotle was caught offside. Not sure he was when the pass was made, which is how the judgment should be made. Our two Argentinian supporters in the background, of course. Colombia, since that opening spell, have won each of the better chances. And Yoni puts it right inside. Is there anybody coming up for Argentina? No. Got to get players forward in greater numbers for these breakaways. That's a free kick. Gomez brought down. Valderrama. Over there's Gomez. Break there by Valencia. Doesn't get away from his marker this time. Who is Borelli, Giorgi Borelli. Oh, magnificent play there. Herrera doing well. Did that with contemptuous ease. Gonzalez brought down, Rodriguez rather. Rodriguez it is. I wonder if he twisted his ankle in the process. He's not going to get very much sympathy. The referee certainly will not bring on the physio. Despite him acting out of scene of death of a salesman. Free kick, and I make it Oud. We're in the last minute, in fact, by my watch. Gonzalez himself has recovered. He'll take a little chip in, not a bad move. Flipped away there by Rincon, who was back in defense. Up in the air by Rodriguez again. Got a lot forward, Simone inside, and there's a shot there by Rodriguez, who made a marvelous recovery, didn't he? Redondo right in the thick of it again and getting his legs out of the way. Beautiful play by Rodriguez again. Batistuta, no, Rodriguez is annoyed with him. After having done all that work, he's fed a pass in which a pair of running shoes would have been more appropriate. And there goes the half-time whistle. The end of a quite excellent first half of football. A breathtaking start, that goal by Simeone. But in fact, it might easily have been a penalty kick. But on he went to keep his cool, and from an almost impossible angle, that cliche we use when we can't really describe just how narrow the angle was. In geometric terms, he put the ball into the back of the net, and there we are. Argentina looked as if they might sail through then, but I've already said that this Colombian team of abundance of talent in them. A superb strike by Rincon. Even though the penalty area was crowded, he managed to get the ball through. One each. I think we'll get a lot more in the second half when you join us for the game live. Football for a second half in which both teams are certainly clearly intent on winning it, getting to the top of the section to play Uruguay. I think they both had a look at Uruguay and fancied their chances against them, so I don't think there's any politicking going on about they're both through to the quarterfinals, so let's not cut each other up. They've really gone at each other, as witness the bookings we've had, as well as these quite excellent goals. So what a start we had, and it lived up to it for the rest of the 45 minutes. We hope the second half does as well. Outstanding performances by many people, but I would pick out the man right in the picture there. There he is, Valderrama. Gloriously subtle passing. Valderrama, by the way, was the South American Player of the Year in 1987 and voted the best player of the Copa America in 1987. And at 31 years of age, he could yet be a contender this time. It's not so much that he's heavily involved in a match, it's the effect that he has on the play around him that matters so much. And isn't that the way we should be judging players? Oh, Guayaquil seemed to, I don't know whether he hurt his right ankle there as he went up for that, as Valderrama heads in. Interesting. Argentinian goalkeeper not at all happy, and there is a little conversation going on between the two captains, Valderrama and Ruggeri. And Ruggeri is trying to referee this game at the moment, I think. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he ends up doing that, because this referee, his way of dealing with trouble is to run as fast away from it as he possibly can. That's the impression I get. Ruggeri. Quick back there by Valencia, but I think he's going to get a free kick out of this. Oh, superb play there by Herrera. Little man who has great pace, so brilliantly in by Valencia. There's right inside there. Aristizabal waiting for it. The touch and goal, and should be taken by Guayaquil. And didn't I say this game has this wonderful fluidity to it? They've done away with all that tip-tapping in midfield, which we saw in their earlier games. The route is longitudinal now, right down the park. 3 or 4 touches and we're getting into the penalty area, and that makes such a big difference, particularly from Colombia. Away he goes again, Herrera. On the outside, Valencia, the man who took it from him the last time. Valderrama can't get that. And there's still a lot of great football in this. It is not such an extreme contrast of styles, of course, but there is the contrast. I would suggest that Colombia have a mix of the kind of Argentinian style football with a bit of the Brazilian flair added to it. Probably getting more to the Brazilian style than the Argentinian one, but across a kind of hybrid, if you like. In Argentina, organized, always capable of bringing out a goal like the one we saw earlier on, and very hard to beat. And Valencia to Rincon, they're crowding him out now and being pulled back there by Alvarez. That's a kind of production there. There's a card going up. Do I see? For a moment I thought there was a red card coming out there. And there may have been an elbow involved. There may have been an elbow involved, and Rincon is going off. Rincon is off. Well, that's quite sensational. There was a flurry there, but it was, you know, it didn't seem to me, well, you don't approve of it, let me say that for a start. You don't approve of arms being raised and elbows, but it was just one of these instinctive flurries. And I know in several nations around the world the referees would interpret that rather differently, and very sadly the man who scored that opening goal is now off. 5 minutes of the second half gone, and really that is a dreadful handicap. And Redondo has joined him. Even as we spoke, he went out as well, Redondo. So the two of them are, they're down to 10 men each now. In that confusion, it's 10 men. There'll be more space in the field, that's for sure. And a shot there at Guayaquil. So 2 red cards given in all the confusion and the melee in midfield. Redondo off as well. What a pity. It certainly adds to the dramatic motif that has run right through this game, but we could have done without that. Basualdo is down, and I hope this game doesn't deteriorate. Oh, what am I talking about? Now, if what we saw deserves red cards, what do you make of that? Now, I did hint on earlier in this game that I didn't fancy this referee, the way he stood away back and allowed the players to sort themselves out with that difficulty they had earlier on. And now look what's happening. That was inconsistency. He's the kind of referee who might decide, look, I think I'll stamp my authority on something that is minimal, and then faced with a challenge immediately after of a crude tackle like that, he ducks it. That is why people become so infuriated with referees. Argentinian players are rather bemused. Now this calls for captaincy of the highest order by both Ruggeri and Valderrama. They've got to steady the players. After all, it's football is going to win this, not muscle. And they certainly have shown us plenty football. The shouting and the bowling going on by Oscar Cordoba. Put in there by Rodriguez. Still high and bothering that defense. Let's see if the game settles down now. They concentrate on football. That is so vital. That's out. Valderrama rather perplexed in midfield. Picked up there, and Zapata has it. Back out there to Medina Bello. Valderrama goes after that. Touched inside, Batistuta with a shot. Really, that's Batistuta's first real effort in the game when you think of it. Running there by Valencia. Yes, I think he's doing a little bit of pushing. Both of these players will automatically miss a game. I don't like, the use of hands and elbows in a game. If it's a blatant punch, really you go after the execution of that needs savage punishment for that. There's no question at all about it. But sometimes you get a little flare up. And all that would require would be some soothing words. Then it wouldn't happen again. Well, one would imagine you go after that, and if it does happen again, that's the clash that was going on between the pair of them, which of course resulted in both being sent off. I must say it's very difficult for the professional footballer under tremendous pressure to be absolutely impeccable in every piece of conduct. But what's kind of foiling that like is cynical things, the subtle thing, that the attempt to hide. A little flare up like that, which is, after all, it's a man's game. I don't apologize for what sometimes goes on like that. I always feel that two excellent players are sent off who've not been at all in bother in this game. It really doesn't do the game any good at all. It doesn't enhance it in any way. And what I think is a weak referee. Very friendly hand there by Aristizábal. When you think of it, Colombia have been playing extremely well without Aristizábal. He's hardly been on the ball, so he may have a contribution to make yet in the last half hour of this game, which we approach. And watched there by Cordoba. No danger in that shot. You just get the impression that the players are slightly shell-shocked as a result of that flare-up. As if the game has been anesthetized, going through the motions at the moment. It may recover. Might just be kept in, and is. Oh, well. I didn't think the whole of the ball was over the line. Going on there. Looks to me like we'll bring on another player very shortly. Now brought down superbly well there by Herrera, who likes to attack down the right. He's got a lot of pace. Valderrama tending to go back the way now. drawing the Argentinian players towards them. Valderrama. Valencia. What's there by Ruggeri, almost to Aristizabal. Now Rodriguez. It's a much cannier game now. Colombia crowding him out very well, but Rodriguez picks up again. Perhaps the most dominating figure in midfield for the Argentinians. Inside is Simoni. That's a bit of ball. Batistuta is offside, I think. And I think he's been caught offside more than any other player in this tournament. His style is running forward for the ball played inside the defender. And there he is caught. He wasn't far off that time. And now what Colombia have done is place Valencia beside Aristizabal, the two of them up front now. And Colombia have pulled other players back into midfield. Without Rincon, they've got Carlos Pereira there. Now we're getting substitution. It looks as if Aristizabal is coming off and Valderrama. Great applause now for Valderrama going off. What a marvellous first half he's had, but he's an older player, of course, almost 32. So we've got Garcia and Lozano now on. Zapata. That's confirmation of that Lozano substitution. Worked on by Rodriguez. Almost to Batistuta. Got away across by Medina Bello. And I think offside again, or certainly a free kick. Yeah, a free kick to Argentina, in fact. Now this could be interesting. Back will go that defensive wall. There's still a lot of buzz, by the way, about that goal that was set up by Hugo Sanchez. Yeah, that was a hand there. In the Mexico, that's the other substitution, by the way, in the Mexico-Argentina game, when he just poked the ball through when they hadn't got themselves organised. The referee is perfectly entitled to let them take a free kick if he thinks the conditions of obtaining a roll right, but it was unconventional, let's put it that way. You don't see that happen all that often, around the penalty area, that is. All put through, they can't get a shot in. And there's a great little flick on. Now I wonder who got his foot to that. That may have been a pass back. Although there was a push, let's see what happened there. There's a foot got in, no, it was the Argentinian one. It was in fact Zapata who got his foot to that. 18 minutes gone in the second half, still one each. Lozano, the substitute. Played forward for Gomez. A little bit slow there. Valencia with it. All in his own now, you'll see. Now they've created a little space on the right. Again, it's Herrera coming up. Ooh, Herrera was taken late. Notice how intelligently he ran back into space again, but the ball was a poor one. Not a spectacular player, but a shrewd tactician. There's evidence there. Now here he is again. Players also might be considering what each will do as that's always been a fear. Osvaldo lying deeper. Well, they can't afford to make mistakes like that, and a bit of carelessness creeping into the game now. In the first half, that would have been put right to the foot of Lozano. Well, the way things are shaping, Argentina, if they get this draw, will head the section. Colombia next. A break forward here, Medina Bello, and the goalkeeper very bravely down on that, and I think the referee acknowledges a head knock like that has to be attended to. Cordoba bravely getting down to that. The break by Medina Bello, he was looking inside. Oh, and it was his own player who took him on the head. I really can't fault Medina Bello for the way he tried to finish that, because he realized that yet again he had Batistuta covered. There's nothing he could do about it. 20 minutes gone. Still one each in the second half. We're down to 10 men. Off Redondo for Argentina and Rincon for Colombia. A little flare up, but I think the referee might have sorted out without the red cards. And away, trotting across there, is Rodriguez. The Argentinian supporters acknowledging the fact that their team could be at the top of the group if they hold on to the scoreline. Ooh, the goalkeeper not fully recovered from that knock, I don't think. There goes to Batistuta, and very good tackling. Garcia got back. Picked up by Valencia. They've got to get into the tackle quickly with him. Knocked on there by Garcia. Run forward by Valencia. He has the pace. He's very deceptive. When you look at him, firstly, you think he's lumbering, but indeed he's gobbling up the space. And on it will come Villarreal, who was a substitute in the game against Mexico. Well, that's most surprising, unless they feel that Rodriguez has run himself out a little, and that wouldn't be at all surprising. But he's certainly still being influential. Maybe trying to preserve him a little bit. Valencia going in for this and pushing. Meanwhile, for Argentina, Villarreal has come on. And don't pay any attention to that caption, by the way. They're all over the place with them. Manon is from Boca Juniors, the run forward, and that's offside. So Rodriguez has gone off. You can hear the Argentinians in the background. And what a different game we're having now. Oh, well, he said he does admire the Mexican goalkeeper Campos for doing such things. And I like to see goalkeepers playing football now. Some people hate it, but I think in balance the pass-back legislation has been excellent now. Once again, touched inside, or too hard, but Valencia determined to go forward. And just at the end, that little spot there almost paid off. Look at him, looked as if he was missing the ball, then charged after it. Picked up by Zapata, but the referee, I think, arguing with Ruggeri and also with Borrelli. I think something must have been said. The Argentinians pleading with him. That happened off the ball. In any case, it's the captain booked. I think it's something he must have said. Low drawn on, a great shot. Guayaquil. He just had one or two slips in his game. Very alert there from Valencia's shot. Was that not brilliantly aimed? Very good free kick indeed. And so we go into the last 20 minutes. It's 1-1, 10 men against 10, without the two players sent off. Redondo, Argentina, Rincon, Colombia. We've had all of these substitutions: Garcia, Lozano, Villarreal, and Perez, who came on during that ramming when the players were substituted. Perez, number 20 for Colombia as well. The game has disintegrated, one has to admit, since the sendings off. Get the impression that they'll just let a goal come along if it comes along. They're not going to work too hard for it. They are both through to the quarterfinals in any case. And Argentina look as if they'll be facing Uruguay if it stays like this. Ooh, wasn't that cool? Now then, all you critics of the new law, what do you make of that? Goalkeeper heading the ball out. Franz Beckenbauer couldn't have done any better than that. Almost got the 1-2. Closed down on him very quickly, and Garcia tried to get away there. Perez I was talking about. Play centered mostly in midfield now. Hooked on there by Valencia. Oh, now he's taken right out of the play. Now that was deliberate. Where's the yellow card now? Watch this, watch it. Oh, look at it. I mean, couldn't be more obvious. That's like a pickpocket walking up and asking for your wallet. It's as obvious as that. And yet no yellow card. That's what really riles you. And Batistuta chasing shadows yet again in this game. Scored 6 in the last tournament. He's only scored 1 so far. At was Alvarez getting that away. Now this is the big substitute, Lozano. Well, I think Colombia is suffering more from the absence of Rincon than Argentina are from Redondo. I think Argentina are quite capable in midfield of filling in for Redondo, although he's a very valuable player. But Colombia were relying very much on the likes of Valencia getting service from Valderrama, and knowing that Rincon there was going to give him some help, if not only go through himself. And now Valencia on his own, with Aristizabal having been taken off. I think Colombia are settling for a draw here. And that longy shot, way off target, Lozano. Might get more substitutions. The Argentinians, of course, wanting to try out as many players as they possibly can. Looking like a Costa warming up. "15 minutes left, one each, and the game has fallen away since we were reduced to 10 men aside. The last 15 minutes may decide the fate of where these two teams will play in the next round. This is Group C we have here, of course, and the first in Group C will play the second in Group A, Uruguay. So it's heading for an Argentinian-Uruguay quarter-final. That should be some game, although I'd favor the Argentinians in it. The break by Valencia, look at his spot again, is he getting in? Oh, now claims that he might have been pushing. He was indeed. Oh, he doesn't mess about, does he? He was almost going forward like a rugby league player there. And although he fell spectacularly, he was doing all the pushing and the shoving away. And now a little spot by Colombia. Almost taken through there by Gomez as he picked that up. As I was saying, Argentina look as if they will be playing Uruguay if it stays like this. And it may be that Colombia would have to play Brazil. That's a possibility, or Chile, or Paraguay. That's fairly open. And they made a blunder, and then almost to the line went Medina Bello. Well, it's almost as if the players had realized the caption had come up and screened them saying 15 minutes to go. They are within sight of the end of the game. And I think they feel that instinctively. And Medina Bello doing very well to run on the right. And here we have that substitution. It is Alberto Acosta coming on. The man who was player of the year in Argentina in '92. Plays for Boca Juniors. Although he's had experience of French football in Toulouse. That's going to be a goal kick. And nobody anxious to push it back to the goalkeeper. Well, Batistuta has come off. He's had a lean time of it, I have to say. The service, in my view, hasn't been adequate to him. On the other hand, he seems to be running rather naively offside far too often. That's Zapata with it, leaving it to Basualdo. Free kick. And up will go the taller players. I think Ruggeri will come forward as well. It's deep, it's a good one. The goalkeeper takes it. Now he is a spectacular goalkeeper, and he obviously likes to play football. I think he could play centre-back with ease, but he hasn't looked too clever with cross balls. That one was a better one. He was fouled in any case, and Colombia with that free kick. Chipped forward there by Carlos Pereira. Carlos Pereira wants to play for the club that Valderrama played for, Montpellier in France. Obviously given a very good rundown of the place. Colombia still capable of playing some of this pretty football, but highly productive at times. Well, a big sub. He does look like Rincon, doesn't he? He's almost a replica of him. That was Lozano trying to go through. To Argentina. Argentina, who won the World Cup in 1978, with every player a homebred and home-based player, except for Mario Kempes, and this is what they are up against now. That has all changed. Much of the talent has gone abroad, and we're seeing tonight one of the efforts of the manager to weld together a team that's so largely of strangers. Not together all that often, but nevertheless coming through this tournament, and I think benefiting by the couple of games they've already had. They are now beginning to play confidently, although they will miss Redondo in the next game in the quarter-final if it is to be against Uruguay. Eight minutes of the game left. They're trying to get that ball forward to Valencia. Now it does run through your mind. That's another late one there, this time by Altamirano. You just get the impression that the referee has decided he's gone through his quota of yellow and red cards. And that's it for the day. Thank you very much. Nice turn by Valencia. Now who's he got inside? He's going himself, and I think he was blocked. I certainly think in the most subtle way the defender simply got between he and the ball. Now watch again. Look at it. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, mark the referee's name well. Mario Rezende from Brazil. And I hope we don't see his likes again. And those people who make these adjudications of referees, I think will be assessing the man who's going to do the final. I don't think it's yet been selected. I guess he's got as much chance of doing the final as Lord Such has of being elected to Westminster. Marcio, having said that, with about 6 minutes left. Altamirano, man who got away with that last tackle there. Tucked away from Simone. As Nice little ball inside, touched away by Mendoza. Yes, it does go through my mind of Colombia. I think we made a game of it. We were stung, we got back, and it was an actual instinctive reaction to losing that other goal to play all the good football. But then you begin to think logically about it. Whom would they rather play? As second in this group, or as winners of the group? As winners they get Uruguay, as runners-up they get nations with lesser pedigree like maybe Chile or Paraguay. And Brazil, they've already seen. I think they could take this present Brazil squad. So it may well be that they're thinking finishing second isn't all that bad. Nice little hip throw there by the man who's himself got a lot of rough treatment, Valencia. Just getting back to that refereeing decision and the sendings off, we had a sending off that I was witness to in the Champions League in Europe when Hately, ex of Monaco and now with Rangers, was sent off for a very sudden flare-up with the Belgian player in Ibrox against Bruges. It was something that lasted about 3 or 4 seconds, was one of these instinctive things between professional players, and sent off. It all seemed a bit harsh at the time, and I think the sendings off tonight have been exactly in that category. There was contact made, of that there's no doubt. I think a good referee always has to look at context. Does it come from viciousness, from something that's been running through the game, or just an eruption, a sudden eruption, which I think it was. He lays it on, doesn't he? I think he's vying with the Mexican goalkeeper here, in long admires, for being a little bit of a circus entertainer. Minutes left. Altamirano. Touched away there by Herrera. And it would be an injustice whether a last-second score, which there might be. That was picked off there. Vadillo Bello coming down that far side. Valencia on his own. Well, he's taken to this task well. I have a great admiration for the big fellow there. He is courageous enough. He does use a bit of his own strength and bulk, but why not? Looks an honest-to-goodness player with a great deal of skill. Seemed to be a deflection. On this side, Perez. That's going to be a free kick. Oh, and another booking. Well, he holds a card high in the air with a group of players around him. Well, now to guess who it was exactly booked. I make it less than 2 minutes left of this game. Marvellous first half, and the second half marred by the sendings off, which has deeply offended the game. Simeone, we see, I think that's a guess too. Not a bad run forward there by Valencia again. But he was never going to score with a shot like that. There he goes now to Alvarez. Picked away by Herrera. Now we're into the last minute. A game of so many different characters. Started off with what looked almost like a cup final in the first 15 minutes. An extraordinary opening goal. Credit to Simeone for being in a very warm country. The coolest man afield. Then Rincon, the man who was ultimately sent off, with superb solo effort in the penalty area. Then the sendings off and that flare-up, and now these teams are playing for the final whistle in such an obvious way that I think people are now drifting to the entrance. If a goal came now, it would be by a dreadful defensive error, I think. However, I must compliment both sides, and we now go into stoppage time, for the excellence, the high quality of the first 45 minutes. It is absolutely marvellous and comforting to realise that a player like Valderrama, okay, he might be creaking a little, can still exert such an influence on a football park by playing in the classical way, good passes, good touches, good vision. Argentina may not have had a player like him, but in Rodriguez they always had a man who was getting around the field, very busy indeed. Zapata and Medina Bello giving him good work in midfield, and that defense led by Ruggeri looking very solid, and the final whistle does go. Ultimately disappointing, one has to say, after that marvellous build-up. The second half disintegrated after the sendings off, and I think they've been told, make sure you keep in with the referees, because I'm sure underneath all of that the players are seething about the way he's controlled the game. Let me take you back to that image you saw early on in the match when the players were milling around themselves and the referee just stood in the background, as he is now, looking like a spectator watching a street fight. But they didn't get to quite that stage, but that was the attitude, and thereafter I do think a referee like that tries to show a bit of bravado, and that's where the red cards came out for Redondo and Rincon. Nevertheless, Argentina now top the group, and they will be facing Uruguay, and I'm sure they'll relish that. Colombia were the runners-up of Group